everybody. It's Lisa Jane here, and I'm coming to you from my home in Barrydale. So you will see that the surrounds look slightly different. And I'm really hoping that you'll be able to feel the energy of this place, since it is the place of my soul and heart. And so that will be coming through in the transmission today. I hope you are all keeping well. As always, please drop me a message on the chat just to say hi. If you have any questions, you can pop them there, and I'll try in between while sharing my information to look at them and to answer them. And apologies for not showing up last week, and I know I've missed a couple. It's quite a challenge sometimes to get this done every Sunday, especially when I've got everything else happening in between and my body has taken a little bit of strain. So we've had to take a rest, which is why my visit out to Barrydale happened this weekend. Hello, Elizabeth. Yes, I'm doing well, thank you. And my family are well, thank you. Although I've left the teens at home in Cape Town, and I'm here with my bestie and partner, just enjoying some quiet time. So as for those of you who may not have joined or had been part of one of these live series before, my name is Lisa Jane. I'm a healer, and I practice from my rooms in Cape Town, South Africa. So if you're joining from all over the world, I welcome you. And as always, when it comes to looking for a topic to talk about, I often get these random insights and things, and then I just launch from there after meditating. And what was interesting is I haven't done reading for a while, but took myself off to the bookstore this past week since I had a couple of vouchers, and I picked up this book. Now, I'm not usually a person for sci-fi books, right? Because I have enough of that in my life as it is. But this book jumped out by Sergei Lukyanenko, and I hope I pronounced that right. And something I read this morning just launched me into this whole idea of I need to share something around that, because it's quite funny when you start reading a book and it really sounds like your everyday life, right? In terms of the things that happen and the things I experience with clients. So if you bear with me, I want to read an opening paragraph, and then I'll step into what we're going to talk about today. And the paragraph went like this. Our goal is not to exterminate the dark ones. Our goal is to maintain the balance. The dark ones will only disappear when people conquer the evil in themselves, or will disappear if people decide that they like the dark better than the light. And for those of you that have been with the series from the beginning, you will know that the reason I started these was that I had such a strong urge from my guides and my team. Lisa, you've got to get out there. You've got to tell people that it's up to them, that this creation of the new world, the new earth, is every single person's responsibility. And the same urge brings me to you here again today. Because what I wanted to talk about today is one of the three legs of cosmic energy or life force energy. And I really see them as love, power, and will. And you can take these however you want. But for me, today, we're going to talk about the power and the will bit. Because as humans, I don't think many of us recognize that we have the power to either bring heaven or hell onto the earth. And we know there are a number of humans that have done quite good at bringing hell to earth, right? And the rest of us kind of wonder about how we can bring heaven here. Now, if you've listened to me before too, you'll know that I talk about having the light within, and that God, creator, source, energy, whatever you want to call it, is not separate from us. It is inside us. And that as energy beings, we have a huge potential to work with ourselves in a way that bring changes to the world. So what I want to challenge you with today, and to leave you to go away and think about, is what do you bring through into the world? Because often people are afraid to look deep inside, right? Because again, going back to the old adage of people don't think they're worthy. And someone posted the other day something about we are enough, you are enough. So it's this continual battle for a single human to think, well, I'm enough and I can change the world. And the answer is yes, you can. But don't be afraid to look at that dark within, because we are a balance of those two, right? And at any point in time, in any time of the day, one might win over the other. And again, I'm just using these generalizations. But if we have the courage to look inside and really take responsibility for those heavier aspects of self, then we can quite easily begin to transmute and become that conduit for heaven on earth. So how do we do that? Well, we start looking at, first of all, no self-judgment here, please, right? We're looking at what vibration you hold on a daily basis. And our only task then is to find the courage to look at those things and to take the time to become more self-aware to actually work on it. Now, the other thing that came to me when I was meditating, which was quite an interesting thing, because there's a lot of talk about the energies coming in and the light frequencies coming in. There's a lot of talk of other dimensions and other light beings. And whilst that all may be very valid, what I want to leave you to ponder is perhaps as a human, we are one of the highest evolved light beings because we've been given the task of transmuting or transforming energy into matter. We have been given the task of having this material sense, living in a material world, but being asked to work with ourselves energetically to either manifest what material desires we want, to heal this material body, or to heal aspects of ourselves that are very tangible. So for me, it was almost like, wow, well, what is that? Is that not a unique signal that, yes, we might have been placed here for that exact reason, to actually transmute energy into physical, to transmute the dark into light, and to take the responsibility to actually do that within your field. Because as energy transmitters and receivers, we are doing that all day, every day, right? So to become a willful human and to willingly and with responsibility own that mission, now I get the words mission impossible, although it's not impossible, to own that mission of really being a alchemist that transmutes energy. So if I was to say to each and every one of you, you are an alchemist that has the ability to transmute energy. You have the ability to transmute dark into light. And you have the human willpower and the divine will to make a decision as to what you are going to do and which side you're going to take. Because that's also free will, right? And so again, coming back to my sci-fi novel, one of the statements in there is that the vision of these black clouds that sit above people's heads. Now, we know that the mental field is one of the hardest, probably, places for us to work in because it's thoughts generated all the time, some of them random, some of them not so random, some of them chattering. And as a thought, if it's chatted more often and regularly, it then begins to crystallize and create something in your field. So the challenge actually for most humans is to really look at this mental field and transmute that. But if I was to say to you that energy never dies, it is always transformed, that at every moment in every day you are working with yourself energetically. And if you can take the time in solitude and self-awareness to look at this and say, well, how am I going to transmute that thought? Or actually to just try it as a magic, an experiment in magic, and say, what if I took this thought, looked at it, and completely flipped it over and changed it to something else? Because you have that power to do that. And actually, it's one of the things that we should have been taught from little, is how we use our imagination, how we use our mind. And instead of being told, stop daydreaming, we should have been told how to use those images to really create the environment that we actually hold as energetic beings. Because the daydreaming and the imaginatory field is one of those realms that we don't work with enough. So in the same way that the sci-fi book prompted me, we are continually being prompted by very simple images and sometimes mundane images that come in, and we are asked to change or transmute, receive the information and work from that place. So in this process of self-healing, it's not a selfish act, right? And this is another thing that I've been speaking a lot about, is the self-compassion. Is that in self-healing, in self-acknowledging, in transmuting the darker energy in your field, the darker thought into a lighter thought, you are actually giving and offering a gift to the collective, because you are the only conduit through which change can happen. And whilst you might read a whole lot of information, and I certainly channel some of that sometimes about the light coming in, you are here receiving that. You are receiving that energy. And as an energetic being, you're asked with your thoughts, with your actions, your words, to transmute that energy, firstly within your own field, and then secondly, in terms of people you actually relate to. So when you look at, again, the power of word as opposed to the power of thought, is that a word will hold a vibration. And if you then are this human conduit using human will to effect change on the world, then this is a very powerful tool where you can actually pause and really say, what am I offering energetically when I use these words? And often it's those smaller things, the words you say in irritation or the words you say in frustration, remembering again that energy never dies. It's leaving us as a tendril. See if you can visualize, is this a light-filled tendril of energy, or is it a dark-filled? Because that is the responsibility we all hold. So the biggest message of each one of us being completely responsible for the field we hold, for the energy we offer the world, and in that way transmuting the dark to the light. So you are energy, and you have the power to transmute, and do it gently. That's what I wanted to say tonight, is do it gently. Start with the small things. Start with the words that pop out of your mouth when you're irritated with someone in your household. Start with the words that you want to say to the driver that's just cut you off in traffic, right? Because every little opportunity to alchemize, to change, increases the light quotient on our planet. And it is within each of our power to change the vibration to a place that is more harmonious, that is more peaceful, and that leads to a better place for one and for all of us. So the message today is going to be a short one, because I'm also running off hotspot on my data. So I don't know how long it's going to last. But I just wanted to show up and say that actually you are an alchemist. You are a transformer of energy. We are energy first, matter second. And no being up there, no extraterrestrial, no Arcturian Pleiadian is actually in such a powerful position as you are to transmute the energy and to change it. So don't think that you're this pleb human. Please. You are a divine channel. I'm the conduit. Thank you, Elizabeth. I knew someone needed to hear this message. You are the conduit. So don't get locked into your mugglesness, Harry Potter thing that when I started this work, I didn't even want to watch because I knew those things existed. I didn't need to see in a movie. But use that aspect of yourself that is the conduit of the divine energy. You are not a muggles. You are a wizard or a wizardress, and you are a magician, because we have been placed here as an element, as a tool to change energy from a lower to a higher vibration. And it is in each and every single conduit of light, which is what you are, that is anchoring that at different points in the earth, that is going to start shifting the vibrations. So, and you are human. You might be overwhelmed by everything that needs to change, and you might be overwhelmed by all the negativity and all the fear. Hello, Craig. But just take a breath. Make sure you take time to just disconnect and just stand in your center, whether it's sitting in the garden. It doesn't have to be this crazy ritual. You just stand in your center and remind yourself that you are the conduit. You are that lightning rod that is catching those light beams. You are the one that is pulling in the life force. If you weren't pulling in, you wouldn't be here, right? You are only here because you are channeling that life force. So in effect, that whole adage of you are God is true, because you have this life force, you have this ability to emanate, to create thoughts, to create words. So choose wisely and remind yourself at every moment, every day, that you are the divine alchemist who, in your role, hello, Julie, has the ability to transmute the energy, has the responsibility to transmute the energy, and you have all of the angels and guides and everyone around you and whatever you want to name them helping you on this mission. Because again, that's the energy I need to bring through. You are on a mission. Whether you're a train driver or whether you're a teacher or whether you're a nurse or you're a doctor or you're just anyone. Housewife. I shouldn't say that. It puts housewife at the bottom. I don't mean it like that. But what I'm saying is everyone. Hello, Val. Hi, Lisa. Oh, welcome, welcome. Thank you for the comments. It's lovely to know that I'm speaking to our audience, just because then it makes me feel more comfortable. So know that you are that magician. You are that person. You are that alchemist. So put on that magic cloak, grab your magic wand, and know that every word you speak, every thought you think, every act of kindness, of generosity, of compassion is like sprinkling fairy dust over anyone you're with. It is real. I've worked with this stuff long enough to know it is real. Sharik, a cool painting. It is, isn't it? There's a story behind that. But that is kind of what I want to leave you, right? That it is real, that you are energy first, matter second. Grab hold of that alchemist nature of yours. Grab hold of that divinity. Know that we are all being given this amazing playground to say, right, show me your manifestation skills. Show me your ability to alchemize energy, to change it, to transmute it. And you will see what happens, not only within yourself, but within the people around you. And the last message I wanted to leave you is it takes courage to face your shadows. And I'm not saying deep trauma. That might be deep trauma in a childhood, but actually all it is saying, I see it. And as you see it, it disappears, right? As you see it, it disappears. Sharik, drop me an email, please. My email address will be underneath the thing. I'll tell you where you can get it. Otherwise, anyone else that wants to answer in the meantime, they can answer Sharik. So use whatever skills, abilities, gifts you feel you have. Even if your gift is just to smile at everyone, do that, because you are alchemizing as you smile. Kindness, underrated superpower, right? And in terms of my heart picture, yes, I've spoken a lot about the opening of the heart, right? Because the heart is where it all happens. It's where it's happening for everybody, the heart field. Today, I won't go into that, but that is part of my heart opening, my heart awakening, which is one of the first steps to any transformative work. But for now, I see you all, right? I know you are all divine alchemists, and I know you can actually transmute negative into positive at any moment, at any time of the day. So if you have any questions around this, please drop me an email, drop me a comment. My Instagram is below. I post a lot there. My Facebook is also below. I post stuff there. But as always, I am so deeply grateful that you take the time to listen to me. As I talk, I channel in energy, and I hope you feel it. This place is a powerful place. So if you feel it, that's great. If you feel your own power, that's also wonderful. So step into tomorrow, step into your week, knowing you hold within you, visualize your magic wand, visualize your cloak, whatever it is, with your shield too, and go out there and shine your light and be nice and kind and compassionate and start transmuting that energy into positive, because I know you can do it. Okay. So sending love to you all from my heart to yours. Deeply, deeply grateful. I love you all. And we will chat again next week, same time. Bye for now.